Hey everybody, welcome to Read Watch Play's remote segment from the Albany Comic and Toy Show. I'm here with,
Clifford, Parmeter.
As always, I'm Tony Cox, and we're really excited because this is one of our hometown conventions, probably the one that's closest to us, I'd say.
Except for the Civic Center for me.
The Civic Center for you in Poughkeepsie. This one I think is closer to me in Albany.
And then the Hudson Valley Comic Show that's coming up.
Yep, and that's
also close to me. Yeah.
Yep. And this one's probably closest to me. And they do this twice a year.
They do it twice a year.
This is the smaller of the show. Semi-annual, as we learned today. And this one is the smaller of the two. This is the Comic and Toy Show. And then is the one that they do in June, that is the Comic Con.
Yeah, that's the
actual Albany Comic Con. So we're really excited to be here. We obviously, Cliff obviously knows a lot of people. And this year they're doing something special. They're doing a charity auction. And Cliff, can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Justin is a fellow comic book collector, lover, and he needed a lung transplant, which we find today that he did complete it and is breathing, and that's great.
That's great news.
And we'll post a link for the GoFundMe. But all the artists here today contributed something to the auction, and even some of the writers contributed some signed gifts, and some stores even contributed Batman toys. And Justin is a huge Batman fan.
I was going to say, because the entire auction table is nothing but Batman, and some really amazing pieces of artwork too.
They're beautiful. Everything's amazing. Great toys. It's incredible, and it's really moving. That someone who is part of this community locally, and just a comic book lover, who is just a friend to so many other fans, and even to so much of the talent that we see here today. So it's really good, and it's really going to help a really great person.
Great. All right. Well, without further ado, let's check out the Albany Comic and Toy Show.
Hey, we're at Albany Comic Con. We're with Steve Orlando, friend of the show, and someone I gush about, it seems, every week, because I'm enjoying Justice League of America so much, and of course, Milk Wars. How are you doing today?
I'm doing real good.
All right, so, the show is amazing. The work that everyone has contributed for Justin has been incredible for the auction items, and so basically that's been our whole day here today. I did want to ask you, so Supergirl is going to be wrapping up soon, yes?
Correct, yes. It's going to be wrapping up with 20.
Okay. And then of course, we don't have any other future plans for the Girl of Steel.
There are plans. I know Brian has said there are plans publicly.
Okay.
So hopefully you guys will find out soon. I'll find out the same time you do, by the way. So.
Okay, so titles you are moving on with, how are they going on?
They're going well. The main thing is going to be The Unexpected, which comes out in June with Ryan Sook and Carrie Nord. And it's going to be deeply tied into the events of Metal. It's going to be tied into the events of Final Crisis. And it's just 4 all-new characters of the DC Universe, each of whom, in my opinion, could support their own title, each with a really rich story. So I'm excited to put it out there.
The last time we talked about it at New York Comic Con briefly, you mentioned Firebrand. I feel like that might be your favorite character out of the bunch, or am I wrong?
It's tough. Firebrand and Neon are both definitely my favorites. It's hard to choose between them. Neon is sort of like Doctor Strange if he had the body of Paul Pope in 1992. And there's a tragedy to him. Someone who has just been toxic to everyone around him and is now trying to amend that when he was a celebrity. So his whole arc is one of redemption. At the same time, because he loses his sight in the ritual that gives him his powers, he's an artist that will never see anything else that he does. There's no cheat with him. There's no radar sense. He can manipulate reality and make these new works and create something from nothing, but he'll never see it. So I think there's an intriguing tragedy to him. In Firebrand, similarly, you have a paramedic who's dedicated her life to saving people and helping people. Now, because of the machine in her heart, has to get in a fight every 24 hours or she'll die, which goes against everything that she's lived as before this. So
she should just move to Gotham.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you'll see where she goes. She has a Gotham run-in pretty early in the book, actually.
Oh, that's cool. And speaking of Gotham, you are working on The Shadow Batman, which is a sequel to Batman the Shadow.
Yes. And we're all over on that. Could not be more excited about that. I love the Shadow. Everybody knows the Shadow's my favorite character. Bringing Robin into it has been awesome. Just a nice new personality to bounce the Shadow off of and to give a good gut check to Batman. And beyond that, you've got two of their longest-running villains, Sherwan Khan, Ra's al Ghul, in the background. And the interplay with them, I think, is really interesting. They're both immortals, but as immortals go, Khan is much younger, and his sort of impetuousness and relative youth is a big sort of driver of the tension between them.
I really like that. I have not finished the series. I'm only on issue 3, so you got to forgive me. But I love your inclusion of other members of the Batman family. So is there any other work you want to tell us about?
Well, Unexpected is my main focus right now. And I'm looking to do a little less than I have in the past, so I can give each book a little more time and a little more love. So make sure you check that out. Crude, my independent book that I own with Skybound, is launching in April, which is a spiritual follow-up to Virgil from Image as well. And then towards the end of the year, you'll start to see what's coming together there, hopefully soon.
And can people find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc.?
I'm trying to. There's too many socials these days. But definitely on Twitter. I'm at the Steve Orlando on Twitter.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh, I always enjoy the show.
We're with Nikkol Jelenic here at Albany Comic Con today. How are you doing today, Nikkol?
Wonderful. Glad to be here.
Good. First, I'm going to ask about your contribution today for the fundraiser for Justin.
Well, I did The Batman Who Laughs, and I kind of did a cover ripoff of Michonne's famous cover from The Walking Dead where she's holding her pets. I have him holding his Robins.
I absolutely love it. It's like one of my favorite things over there, and we're going to definitely get a table shot of it later. And of course, I've been stressing how important the fundraiser is for Justin, and the GoFundMe is still up. So you are promoting a new comic today, so tell us about that.
I am. It's my new A Taste for Killing. It's the Killer Clown issue, and it's debuting at this show, so I've already sold tons of copies, and it's doing pretty good. Apparently people are very scared of clowns, so this is working out.
We all have that fear, and you're lucky because the movie It came out this past year, so it's perfect.
Which is why I did it. Every Taste for Killing is a different monster or horror theme, and I try to pay attention to what's coming out. And when I saw they were doing that, I was like, Killer Clowns is the way to go. That's what I'm doing.
And there's even more waiting for you because the sequel's coming.
Oh yeah. But we can't do another clown. I got to think of something else. I have to see what else is coming out.
I mean, it's also a giant spider, so. Remember, it's cosmic form is like the 3 lights and a spider. That's cool.
If they go that route, we don't know. So
I believe in them.
They should.
Yeah, because Matt Turin is hanging out with them in the scenes, but
Yeah.
he just looks like a little turtle, or he looks like a toy turtle.
Yeah.
So
I loved that. I love that remake. Did you like it?
loved it.
I thought they nailed it. Totally good.
So Brian, my boyfriend over there, we went to go see it together, and he's like, I absolutely love this. I love it. Like, we left the theater. He's watched it like 17 times already. Like last weekend, his like friend was like, oh, I haven't seen it yet. He's like, oh, I'll watch it for a 17th time.
That's awesome.
So it is. So he loves horror. So he already is like drawn to your work. I'm super excited.
Oh, good. We'll make friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so super provocative cover, by the way. So, but it looks
Can't
good.
have horror without some scantily clad babes.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm super excited though. You have anything else you want to talk to us about coming up?
Well, no, I mean, I'm very excited about this thing for Justin, and so I just want the charity to do well, and I think if anybody, keeps on making art and donating to it, that's good too. He's still recovering. He got released, and so, and then, for me, I'm going to keep working on these and doing art and shows, so I'll just see everybody at those.
That's good. Anthology series are super awesome. Thank you for joining us today. You enjoy the show. Thanks. And I'm speaking with Raymond Lowell, our illustrator. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Really good. So I'll start off with something near and dear to all our hearts. You actually did a Batman piece of artwork.
I did.
So tell us, and it's obviously for Justin. We're fundraising for him today. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I don't really know Justin. I've talked a couple times, but when my friends who put together the fundraiser asked me to do some Batman art, I stayed up all night after drinking a pot of coffee and threw together a Batman versus Killer Croc mock cover. because I always put my best work in when I'm trying to do something to help people charity-wise. As you know from doing the Toys for Tots charities, I always try to put together a big piece that I think will draw as much money as possible to help out. So.
I really appreciate it. You did an awesome Hulk this past year for our toy drive, which is every year, first Saturday of December. This year will be the second Saturday in December because, timing issues. But yes, you've been absolutely great. Yep. And it was right. Thor. I call it Hulk Ragnarok because it's such a great piece from the movie. Yes. Yeah. That said, so earlier when I was walking by, you said you actually kind of had difficulty drawing Batman.
Correct.
And
for some reason, I'm a huge superhero fan, but I don't enjoy drawing superheroes as much as I like drawing the monsters and horror stuff or just real life. My mini comic that you're holding, Moochie the Dumpster Cat, is actually based on some true stories of my friend Peggy, who is a transgender woman, and this is about when she was learning that she wanted to transition. Taking care of this homeless cat actually helped her work through that process, and it's basically a story of a cat dealing with the non-homeless cats picking on it and learning to accept his fate in the world. And I've got the second issue coming out soon. It's Shopping Cart Man. Again, Peggy, being the selfless person that she is, helped take care of a homeless man that lived in Troy, New York, and was befriended him. And it's his tale and how he meets Moochie. So it's based on a true interactions, but then fictionalized for the comics.
That's like really impressive.
But it's real life and it's down to earth stuff, and it's not action packed, but it's got some existential ideas that Peggy portrays in her words, and then I take my more realistic art style and bring it to the page, so it's a good juxtaposition of those two ideas.
That's really awesome.
Pretty well together, so.
I'm looking forward to it. So just tell our audience, where can they find you online? Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, it's at Raymond Brian Lowell. Instagram is at RB Lowell, Lowell. And I've been posting a lot more there lately. I'm getting better at doing the social media stuff. So you'll see a lot of new stuff coming up there.
Yeah, I really like the one we most recently put up, which of course was a commission that was super cool.
Yes.
All right, and that's all from Raymond. You can check him out online. Thank you, and we'll be back. And I'm with Paul Harding, sculptor and illustrator. How are you doing today, Paul?
Pretty good, as always. Got you right here.
He is super sweet. So the first thing I'm going to ask you about is just tell us a little bit about the fundraising for Justin today.
Well, we have a fundraiser going on that has a lot of original art. I have a statue in there too. So it's a raffle. So you buy a bunch of tickets and you put them in the box that coincides with the piece of art that you want, and you have a chance to win something really beautiful.
And it's for a really good cause for someone who's very much beloved by this community and a friend to a lot of us. So it's really funny because you are kitty corner to Jim Sterling, who's behind us, and I'm looking at your signed Infinity Gauntlets here. So are you gushing out like a fanboy today as well as being here as a guest?
Oh yeah, I'm not bragging, but I got to have dinner with him last night, and I even sculpted a Thanos bust for him, and I up one off and I handed it to him yesterday. So yes,
okay,
I'm
now,
a fan.
Okay, now I'm jealous because where's my Thanos bust?
Yeah.
Also, so for those of you who watch the show regularly, Paul sculpted the Super Sons here, which I own, and they're like super amazing. And I've tried posing Superboy like 1,500 different ways. I want you to know because I just want him like soaring over like Damien. And I'm actually thinking of getting those artifact stands to like force them into every position possible.
Yeah. You get the Kota Bukia ones that clip onto the waist.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Super impressive. Highly recommend it. It's like one of my favorite toys ever. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
Do you have anything coming up that you can discuss? Any toys, projects, props?
Loads of action figures, loads of statues. I don't know where to go from there.
Is there like one that you're particularly proud of, maybe?
It's just a lot of DC, a lot of Marvel, and a lot of Star Wars. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'll narrow it down. Which one is there? Sorry, any of them like related to any of the films coming out?
Oh, I don't do a whole lot of the film work. I prefer to let my own style.
Focus on their comic book heritage.
Yeah.
You know, I prefer that too. I don't want to be that guy, but I really do. All right. So I'm only going to ask you one last thing, right? So I'm gonna purchase this. If you could sign it and make it out to Brian, that'd be super awesome.
Is that your new name?
No, that's my boyfriend over there.
Hey. Cool. Absolutely.
All right.
Is that with an I?
Yes, Brian. The semi-traditional one. So look forward to lots of Marvel, lots of Star Wars, and lots of DC, actually, which I'm sure is coming. There's some beautiful action figures in the DC Icons line. I happen to really enjoy Firestorm, and of course I enjoy the Super Sons. And thank you, and we'll have more from Albany Comic Con. Hey, we're with artist, illustrator, inker, creator, Kevin Conrad. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So you said you created another Batman image for today's auction, which will be helping out Justin.
I absolutely did, yeah. It's tried to make him look as heroic as I possibly could. You know, stoic, very static, planted, wide stance. You know, he's very, very proud to be in Justin's auction.
Good. I'm super happy about it, and the work that everyone's doing here is
Yes,
really
it's amazing.
impressive.
Yeah.
You know, are you good friends with him through the show?
I've become good friends with Justin through his coming to these shows all the time. You know, he was a fan, and now he's a friend. He's been a friend for a couple of years at least now. Yeah. So I've been in his corner. Yeah.
We've been hearing that all day. It's like super touching
Yeah.
to hear. And I mean, he's always been. I love talking comics with him every time I see him at one of these shows.
Yeah.
So, is there any new work you have coming out that you like to talk about?
No, I'm pretty much retired from. I do the convention circuit. That's what I do. I do commissions for fans. I do.
Beautiful commissions.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And just here at the shows, you know, just keeping my presence known.
We'll call it semi-retired.
Semi-retired, yeah. So I do, you know, I travel. They still fly me out to shows, you know, and that kind of thing. So I'm doing a couple in Pennsylvania next month. Yeah.
That's really exciting. Is there any way that people can find you online? Facebook, Twitter, etc.
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, Kevin Conrad Art. I still have a website, kevinconradart.com. That's pretty much an archival site. You know, it's been dead in the water for quite a while because I'm technically inept at that kind of stuff. So I can post stuff on Instagram. I can post stuff on Facebook and keep that up to date.
We all think you're very safe on Instagram. That's really good. All right. Well, thank you so much for today,
thank you.
talking with us.
Thanks very
You
much.
have a great
It's been
time.
a pleasure.
Thanks. Hey, we're with Richard Clark at Albany Comic Con, and for those of you who aren't familiar with Richard, you should get to know his work on the graphic novel available now, Happy, which has a TV series on Sci-Fi Channel.
Darn tootin'.
That's right. Did you enjoy the show?
Yes.
I'm hoping you're also enjoying additional sales of the graphic novel.
No.
Well, we're going to keep working on that, so let Richard know. So how's the show going for you today?
I'm loving the show. The Albany Comic Con, the toy show and toy and comic book show, which is a satellite of the semi-annual, semi-annual? Yeah. The twice annual Albany Comic Con. It's my home show. I live about 90 minutes away. So I know most of the people who come here. I know almost all of the artists and authors who are here. And John Belskis, who runs the show, is like family. So I genuinely love this place.
And you've come to visit us down, in the Hudson Valley, which we very much appreciate.
What?
Yeah, you have.
The Hudson who?
Well, we're all the Hudson Valley, Lower Hudson Valley.
The Hudson Hawk? What, Bruce Willis? What?
Would you ever like to work with Bruce Willis?
No.
That's good. So, what are you working on now that you can tell us about?
I'm still fulfilling my Kickstarter project. Her name is Star, and she's awfully naughty and tons of fun. I am. Yes, you did, and your reward will be there as soon as everyone else's are. I am also still working with Storm King Productions, which is John Carpenter's production company. The book is John Carpenter's Tales of Science Fiction, which is a monthly ongoing book that has several mini-series throughout. So the first 5 issues, as a for instance, were Vortex, I think. And then the second 5 or 8 issues was Vault. So every 5 or 8 issues, the story changes, but it maintains the anthology title, pardon me, John Carpenter's Tales of Science Fiction.
That is super impressive. We're going to be looking forward to that a lot.
You're darn tootin'.
Also, I saw that you prepared something for the auction today. And do you know Justin as well?
I know Justin pretty well. Justin, again, it's one of the things that happens at a show in a community and environment like this. Justin is very, very much like family to me. Everything that I reasonably could do, I wanted to do to help support him and his family as he goes through this. Everything I've heard and read and seen, just spoke with family members not even 5 minutes ago. He's doing really well. His lung transplant and his recovery from it, he's shattering records for how quickly he's recovering. So it's all good news, knock wood.
Good. It's really impressive, and we're all rooting for him. And there's GoFundMe is still available. We'll make sure to link to it. All right. Is there anything else you want to share with us today?
No.
Also, that Thing graphic novel that you're selling is awesome.
The Thing art book, yes. Printed in Blood. They're a very, very cool company. They do posters, they do theme books, they do theme posters, movie posters. They're super, super cool. And the current book that is for sale is an art book of, I think, 200... No, it's over 300. Over 300 artists, 300 pages, doing their personal take on John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a huge book, literally this thick, 9x12 hardcover, and it's $40 cheap for that much goodness.
And printandblood.com has it available as well.
They'd better.
All right, well, thank you very much. This was awesome. Always a pleasure to see you.
Good.
All right, everybody. So that was our visit to the Albany Comic and Toy Show. We hope you enjoyed it, and we learned a lot today.
Yep.
A lot of the people we interviewed knew Justin. We're friends with Justin, and through meeting him at conventions, specifically this one, the semi-annual one, and so it was really great to hear those stories and to also hear what people are working on.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, so Nikkol Jelenic did that amazing Batman piece. Kevin Conrad. Paul Harding. I mean, everyone just did such gorgeous pieces, and of course, in some of that footage you've seen from the floor, you've got the Batman table, so you all know what you guys missed out on today. But it was really a great show, and everybody's like so nice and so kind, and it's such a. I mean, we're in a big hotel, but it's an intimate atmosphere for fans. And if you're like intimidated by big shows, and a lot of smaller shows, are typically disappointing, but this is one of those shows where it's run by a fan, it's family oriented, like everybody's very welcoming, they treat the guests really well. Like this is a great show to come to, like kind of like to wet your feet and feel comfortable.
It also, to me too, it's only $5 entrance to get in, and I don't think they've changed it for several years now.
It's $10 for the Albany Comic Con show.
That's right, $10 for the other show that they do this year, but this one is only $5, or even at $10. And even if you only spend a couple of hours here, it doesn't feel like you're wasting your money. It feels like you're getting something for that value. So you don't feel like, oh, I got to plan an entire day to go to a convention. You can really only come. You can see the entire show in 2 or 3 hours, and you feel like you've gotten something. There's a lot of great vendors, a lot of great finds.
The creator of Thanos is here, Jim Starlin. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get footage with him. He was very busy. I did snag an autograph and a picture with Brian with him, so that was really cool.
So yeah, I had a great time.
Of course, I had a great time. It was awesome.
As always. So thank you very much for watching from the Albany Comic and Toy Show. We'll see you next time.